Okay. Okay, do y'all hear me now? There's 3 people in here. Do y'all hear me any better than before? It's my boyfriend, so hopefully y'all hear me. I'm somewhere in Oklahoma, baby. So we're gonna do the best we can with it tonight. What's up, Rashad D? You probably way much better. Thank you, Mama. I may have to hold her or something. Okay. Tonight we talking about Texas abortion law. Now, me personally, I don't necessarily believe in abortion, but I don't believe that the government has the right to step in and tell you when and when you can't do what you can't do with your body. The same shit they doing now with the damn COVID-19 test. They're trying to make it a mandate thing for all truck drivers to get the COVID shot. Now they're governing that you can't get an abortion past 6 weeks. Most women don't even find out until they're 6 weeks pregnant. A lot of women don't find it, don't have early symptoms early on in their pregnancy stage. They don't have any symptoms at all. My mom found out when she was pregnant with me, she said she was 7 to 8 weeks pregnant. So how can the government step in and say, I want to know, with y'all opinion, whose damn bright idea was this to pass this damn law? Right? And it gotta be damn Texas. It gotta be Texas, isn't it? Now I know people I say I love my city and I love my state, but I still see why people don't really fuck with Texas that much. Because we do some crazy shit with our laws. Really with our justice system not all the way correct. You know what I'm saying? We got easy living anyway. You can make a good living for yourself down here. But Governor Brett Abbott lost some major points on this man. Major points. You cannot go on a light now. You gotta look at it at this point. Now, is it better to put a stipulation on abortion and make these ladies have these babies and bring these babies forth and don't really care for them, don't really love them? You know how you be watching a lot of YouTube videos, find a lot of women that's been drowning their kids and throwing their baby. One lady threw her whole 2 sons in a lake that I was watching. And they, throughout the situation, for her, the abortion may be the best thing for her. You don't want to mess around and have that baby here, and then resent having the child, and then mistreat the child. But you find ladies that putting their babies in ovens and having their babies malnourished, because those women were really kind of like forced to have those children because they was in bad situations when they got pregnant. Okay, Rashad G said the law penalizes the clinic, not the person, so it's not stopping anyone, just timing. Exactly. Let me tell you this. With this new law in place, a lot of the young girls that's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 that are young, that are getting pregnant, that are getting molested, they're getting pregnant, or raped, they're getting pregnant, I mean, whatever the situation may be. Back when I was in high school, I'm going to tell you a story. It was a girl that her mom refused to let her have an abortion. She didn't want to let her have an abortion. So she did everything she could to lose this child. Like running all the time, jumping on things all the time, punching her own stomach. I mean, this law didn't do nothing but they can be where they get more creative in doing abortions. They're gonna start happening. Gonna start going back to the witch doctor and start having their abortions watch. That's what they're gonna start having to do. Adoption is a choice. Yeah, they don't have to, but once that baby get here, and let me tell you this: a lot of kids that go. Let me tell you this: I'm saying the stipulation says that 70% of kids that go to adoption resort do not get adopted. They grow up, they go through the CPS homes, they get stuck in the system, they get ran through the system, and they grow up with no real love or security, and they end up getting raped and molested themselves. The cycle just keeps fucking repeating itself. So you have to go back to the whole first choice at the beginning is you didn't have this child. Now for the women that just lay there and have sex and just get pregnant and just use this as a means of birth control, we're not talking about that, okay? We're not we're not talking about those particular women. We're talking about the young girls that are kind of forced into this thing. Now, in recent times, they've been coming together. They've been protesting like crazy in Texas about this law, which I've been so 100% behind. Uh, you know, um, and they've been protesting. They've really been going hard on this law. It's the thing I love about Texas. We know how to come together. Texas is one type of state that we if we want to get on the movement. We want to get on one accord. So right now, the law is in a suspension stage. Suspension stage. I'm sorry, and which they don't need to damn suspend it to fucking abolish the whole fucking law altogether. It's 2021. Why all of a fucking sudden now, my friends, do you want to put a stipulation on damn abortion? Okay. Farmer May says that was to be asked. I don't like abortion, but there's many reasons for it, and a lot of us women don't find out after 6 weeks exactly. 6 weeks is not enough time. It'd be different. He said 3 months. And you would said 3 months. Then that's something different. But 6 weeks is just too short of a time. It's like trying to. The government is really trying to take over our lives. You don't really see it right now. Through COVID, through paying us the rate of trucking, through now the abortion laws, and then Texas just not starting this shit. Other states are going to come in behind this and do the same shit that Texas is doing. Because Texas is not only the biggest state in abortion, California is, Florida is, and New York is. They're the biggest states in abortion with the top numbers for abortion. So other states are going to follow. Other states we be looking out for this. But I'm just passed the law, and it's been so much confusion about it. Now you got to put the shit in suspension. So whose idea was it? But it's all Governor Albert's idea. Somebody had to start thinking this out. It was a sorry ass idea to begin with. Because how you gonna govern a woman's life? I'm telling you right now, y'all, they're gonna start having us injected with stuff in our arms as trackers on us after a while. They already put a stipulation what you're gonna do with your body, with the life that you have going inside of you. Okay? Rashad D says, so the question is, can a woman and a man live with the choice of killing a baby? They're gonna have to pay for that one day after death. Let me tell you something. It's so many women that I've met, including some of my own cousins, that have had abortions, and they say they hear crying at the foot of their bed. This is for the women that make the choice to do it and to keep going. I'm telling you, these are for the women that go a second, third, fourth, fifth, and seventh time having an abortion. It's used as a means of birth control. Some for the real starving women right now. Because we're talking about for those particular women, I feel like that if they're going to pass a particular law, they should say how many abortions you can have. Now that would have made more damn sense to me. You understand what I'm saying? For the women that's had 6, 7, and 8 abortions, you can just say, "Oh, sorry to me," and you just don't want to deal with your responsibility and deal with your actions. I'm talking for the full-grown women that's in their 20s, it's out here doing their thing, not using protection, going from guy to guy, is happen to get pregnant, and don't want to deal with the responsibility. Right? But whoever I did was say 6 weeks was total BS. It was total BS all the way around. I hate that my state was the first to start this shit. And I hope it's totally abolished. The laws of suspension They need to abolish this shit. There don't need to be no more debate on it. We need to keep protesting. I wish I could protest now. I was even protesting the most, I think, in Austin, because Austin is our state capital. Can I jump on and kill you? The link is in the top, baby, Rashad. The link is in the top of the chat. You can hit the link and come on. This is what I want now. I really want the guys to really come in and hit on this, because you don't have to lay there and have the procedure, but it's your child. So how are you men getting affected in knowing that your woman, she only has 6 weeks to decide if she's gonna bring forth your child or not? How do y'all feel about that? That is just totally crazy. This whole law, where's our world coming to, y'all? The government's doing all kind of shit. They shut down. They argue now. They about to shut down now, and we cannot go back to being shut down in the country again. We won't survive it. None of us. Okay, they're putting all kinds of stipulations on. We're turning into a communist country. If you watch it in front of your very eyes. Hello?
Hello?
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. What's the side?
Oh, what's going on? Yeah, so I, I I think I heard you say something about you wanted the guy to come on and give their view or something.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't agree with abortion, but I will say this: I have a lot of sympathy in the cases where the women are raped. I have a lot of sympathy. I still don't agree with the abortion, but I have a lot of sympathy in those situations. So I wouldn't be I wouldn't be the best person in a situation of like a woman that got raped to try and encourage her to keep the baby. I would have to get like another woman to come in and deal in that situation. But all the other situations, I probably would step in and try and encourage them to keep the baby outside of the rape situation. But even to the other point of view, though, me personally, this may sound kind of rough, but for the people that rape the women, they deserve death. I think they should have a law that just give them death as long as they can prove it. And I'm not saying a situation where that is some suspect evidence that well we think they might have did it. I'm talking about actual proof, DNA, etc. So there's no situation that you got an innocent man going to the death penalty. So that's my take as far as the rape part. But as far as the other situations of the pregnancies. Um, and also, let me add this in too. There is some statistics that majority of the abortions are not even rape. Majority of them is just people that don't want a child. And with that being said, I'm willing to step out there and say this. I'll say this right now. Men are part of that problem. They have the problem because the woman can't
Thank,
lay down alone. So
thank,
that I'm sorry. Go ahead.
thank you for a man that get the big picture. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to the child, it's always every other thing done. There's not a lot of stuff they don't on them, but that life was not figured out. So I think that part of the reason why they passed the law is that we don't have a lot of stuff they they understand what I'm saying, and they're looking at how they have to put on child support. A lot of stuff not people that want to do out. You got to see the bigger picture of why they passed it so no good ass law in the first place. You understand what I'm saying? And some parts of it make some portion of sense, and other parts of it like what the hell is really going on. You know what I mean? And one chain links to another. So when the child gets here, the is going to go every day that and they don't feel they don't personality, things like that. And you have to get out here. Most likely, if you even consider abortion, that's trouble.
You kind of chopping in and out a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
What I was saying was, if you even consider abortion, most likely, or not, they want. You know what I'm saying? Then Farmer May says, what about the medical part? What if the baby still trying? Well, that's um if it was me and I was pregnant with a baby, I would take it. I've been in an abortion room. I was happy about that. So I don't know if I can there have it done the like baby. Today's technology, especially with they have so many things that can help. So I don't think I was there for a child. Now, if I was pregnant, like baby, one time, it's big, I might consider it, but I don't know about good on that. Take care of it. I don't know if I really did. Yeah, I did get a mic. I didn't like the mic. I got like but Rashad. So what do you have to say for Parma? She says what about uh the medical side?
The medical side. I'm sorry, you kind of chopped up. I heard you say what I have to say about something with the medical side. What aspect of it?
Yeah, the medical side. What if the baby give Parma?
Oh, okay. So I mean, you don't know. I mean, it's kind of situation like if you having a baby, you don't know. If a person is having a baby on purpose, you don't know what you're gonna get. You just pray and hope that they're gonna come out healthy. So it's kind of the same thing. If in a situation where that somebody get pregnant and then they find out, well, this baby might have, and I'm assuming this is what you said because it kind of chopped up, but I'm assuming it's what kind of like what she's pertaining to in the message that I think I saw. So like if a lady gets pregnant and then she go and do some checkups and they say something like, yeah, your baby is missing an arm, or a leg or a finger, something like that. I mean, it's kind of a situation still like, it is a baby, it has a life. And just because that baby might be missing a finger, leg, or whatever, they if they given a chance, they can still live a productive life if they given that chance. You know what I mean? So I'm assuming that's what she was pertaining to. But if I'm not, just let me know.
Said something in the comment section. Said, I'm not the baby's health, but the mother's health.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, the mother's health. Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. So that's a good point. I mean, but that's still the woman's choice. Now, here's the thing. I'm against abortion, but it's still a woman's choice. That's still a woman's choice if it's a situation that she gonna die if she have the baby or both of them gonna die. But it's still, I have to say this again. What's the percentage of those that actually happen? The percentage of situations where that the mother is in danger of dying of having a baby, knowing the mother knows that she's in danger of dying of having a baby. What is the percentage of that versus the percentage of folks just that don't want a baby and just go out there and have an abortion? I'm willing to bet it's a smaller percentage.
What's up, Parma, man? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. This is my first time doing this. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. Go ahead. We're gonna stay on as long as I possibly can. What's going on, baby?
Well, thank you for allowing me to join. But what I was saying, what's his name? Sharad?
Rashad.
Rashad. No, I was speaking about the mother's health because there have been cases where the baby is literally killing the mother, and some women do try to go through with it and try to carry their baby to term, and they both die. and some mothers choose
Yeah.
to just end the pregnancy. There's no health. You know, a lot of women, you know, they take their chances and not understand that because you have kids born with Down syndrome and all this stuff, and they're fine. A lot of kids do just fine with that. But when the baby is literally killing you, because like you can get pregnant in your tubes, which is not good. What they call, I think, it's called a tubal pregnancy or something like that, and you can get pregnant where the baby is literally killing you, and they choose the abortion.
That makes
Yeah,
sense. That makes
that's why I think you might have came in a little. Oh, I'm sorry.
that makes a lot of sense. What Palmer is saying, a lot of women have experienced that. I've had two girlfriends experience tubal pregnancy, and they didn't have no choice but to remove the child. You know, so those situations are a little bit different. You know, I don't know if that's still, and that's another thing too. They didn't stipulate exactly what falls underneath their law for their 6 weeks. What about the tubal pregnancy that Palmer just mentioned? Right, because sometimes you don't even find that out until after 6 weeks, depending on how the baby is sitting in your fallopian tube and how the baby is growing and progressing. Sometimes it can stay as small as a seed, just sit there in your fallopian tube and don't grow. You know, it eventually gives you a problem, of course. But what about that? That's why I'm so glad for protest against this, and I'm hoping they take the law down, y'all. I hope they do. I hope that's something that stays up against a lot of the women here in Texas. I think that it should remove a choice from you at all. Who is like Rashad or Palmer? Rashad, is still you on here? Rashad. Rashad. Hello. I don't know what happened. Yeah, but I hope they remove this whole total line. It just removes choice, and then this is supposed to be the greatest country in America. This is supposed to be the place of the land free. And it's like every single year they come out with a new stipulation, give you what you're going to do, what you can't do with your own body, with your own household, with your own income, with everything that you do in this country. Right. All right, Palmer, making hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Um, but I really want to get this topic on. I'm glad Rashad came on. Thank you, Rashad, for coming on and giving you a male perspective. Those are we need a step. Part of the reason why they made this law, because a lot of men are not really stepping up. You know what I'm saying? And they're looking at the long effect of women having these babies, or they sitting there, they looking at all the time women have 6, 7, 8 abortions. I mean, when you look at the other side of it, it makes sense. Yes.
It do, and that's why I had made the comment saying that, like, I'm not 100% for abortion because, and I just like what you just said, I wish more men would step up because, to be honest, women lie. Women lie. So I'm not for abortion. If you've been out there cheating on your man, cheating on your husband, you don't know who your baby daddy is, but you don't want to mess up what you got at home, even though you messed it up when you went outside of home, and now you want to have an abortion just in case it ain't your husband's baby, or
Uh-huh.
you in school, in college, and you're not practicing safe sex, and you just out there free doing
Yeah.
whatever. And
Yeah.
now, well, I got to finish school and I want to have an abortion. It's gonna mess up my life. Well, you should have thought about that again before you open your legs. So, like, that's why I always say I'm on the fence when it comes to abortion because some women, and just calling it for what it is, some women, some of them ain't right. Some of them ain't right. They be doing all kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
which is also the reason why I say more men need to step up and get a DNA test before they sign their name on the birth certificate.
Yeah. See, men don't think that this law has absolutely nothing to do with them. It has everything
Mm-hmm.
to do.
It has
Really, really
everything.
does. They have that nothing. Every guy that I've talked about the subject, well, it's up to the woman. It's up to the woman. No, it's up to you too. It's up to you too because we move as a body as one. what counselors bringing forth for life to the world. It never happened. The only person that had a miraculous conception was the Virgin Mary.
Exactly.
He's the only one. So I hate that when you do see a lot of protests, it's mostly women that are protesting. Also, there's
Mhm.
men, but I wish more men would take on and say, "Hey, you're not going to put the stipulation on our women. You're not going to take
Yep.
our rights for what we want, what we choose to do for our future." What's okay, B?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, what's going on, Palmer and Shape? How y'all
Hey,
doing this evening?
I'm
Yeah,
doing
I just
great.
want to come in real quick. First and foremost, yeah, I see that Shape and what's going on in your state. I'm in your state right now, getting unloaded at Fort Worth. But I just look at it like this, ladies. I don't have kids, and I know it's a woman's right to do what they want to do with their bodies, and I get it. uh Birthing is process itself is danger for the woman and the baby. It's just real. Every child that's born is a blessing by God. That's how I believe. But there are certain circumstances, like y'all was saying, that it can truly detrimentally the woman's health, and they have to make a decision. But they also, like I said, rape, incest, different things that happen. I understand the woman has a right, like, hey, I don't want this product of rape inside me or something like that. I get that. But then there are just women blatantly just laid up with a man, knowing what the consequence could be. You let them go and you raw dog, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. I want the day after pill, or it's too late for that. Now I'm gonna have a doctor go and do abortion. I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion. It's sad. I see so many women killing babies. Shape, you already know. You just sent me a couple things the last few days. It's sad, Palmer. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
43 years old, and I would be a great father, and I would love to have kids, and then I just see these people just no no remorse for life. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
ain't
true.
nothing to me, no excuse, no nothing is hard in this world why I'm gonna kill my babies. More, if anything, I'm sacrificing for my babies. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's a cruel, harsh, nasty world we live in, y'all. It is, man. It ain't the world though. It's just the people. It's the people. And far as
but
this government, y'all, this government been putting us on top of it. We just seeing it out right now. We already been under their rule. Now they pretty much with this mandate and things after this, with this law in Texas, they're just telling you that y'all gonna do what we tell you to do. We got control over you now.
let me
They've
ask
been
y'all
they've
this.
been leading towards that. Go ahead, Shay.
I, I think it's so weird that they pulling this shit now and taking right after COVID. That's what really has me. That they pulled it right after the COVID stipulations of having to take the shot. They pulling this part. We've been getting abortions for forever. We've been way back in medieval days.
I
They
know.
were getting. So why are you pulling this now? Do you understand that the whole control notion that
Cause
we
they
on
they flexing their
generally?
muscle shape. They telling y'all that, hey, it's hold on, we could. Sorry, y'all. They just got me unloaded. But yeah, shape. They just flexing their muscle. That's all. They telling you, hey, we're gonna do what we got to do. Yeah. Yeah.
Baby, Farmer, do you catch the control though? Farmer of
Yes,
our
I do.
catch the
I catch
control.
it.
I just I,
And
I
see,
just think that they just hold it as a gateway to just do all kind of other things that's not totally necessary. Really, really against us.
and and as far as the kids and stuff like that, because I believe, like, and we can't just say Texas all over, and Mississippi is one of the worst states in my personal opinion, which is where I'm from. I get trying to save the unborn, but also the ones that's already here, because you have kids that bounce around through foster care, and no one person can take care of them all, but bounce around through foster care, get raped, beat, mistreated, so on and so forth. They're there for a check because the government is paying someone to take care of these kids for a check. And it seems like there's nothing being done about the ones that's already here. And that's kind of like the other part that gets to me. Like,
Yes,
you're trying to control this issue. And like you said, abortion been going on since the medieval times. It's been going on forever. And I don't always agree with it. I don't always agree with it, but do something about the ones that's here, because I often sit up and just listen to stories of people in foster care, kids in foster care, and I'm telling you, it will bring tears to your eyes.
so I know
I
the
agree with you,
multiple.
Palmer. It just there's so many other options. I get it. women have a right, and like Shape, you said, abortion's been around forever, but it's just like I don't know. I don't know.
I
you know,
think there should be guidelines for it. I don't think you should just be able to walk in and just get an abortion because it's Wednesday or this is just
oh
something
my
you want
God,
to
thank
do.
you, Paul. I'm glad you said that, sis. Yes, there should be certain stipulations, like what is the litigation circumstance why you want abortion. They should go through some kind of like count, like evaluation before they just say, hey, you can walk in like you say Wednesday. I just want to kill my baby. You know what I mean?
Hmm. And also, since you can do what they call it in utero paternity test, I feel like the father or potential father should be there before you're
Yeah,
allowed to just give this abortion because it's only one half of your child, even though you're carrying it. I feel like the father should have a say so in it.
of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Let me throw this at y'all. Let me throw now they throwing this out about the abortion. When they gonna put more stipulations about the CPS show? Now see we focusing on the
Yep.
wrong day. Hey, you understand what I'm saying? You gonna sit there and vote and pass this ratchet ass bill that now that you can put on suspension because there's so much protest against it. But you still got thousands of babies in Texas alone that's been in foster care since they was born
Yep.
that are aging out of this being there their entire lives. Don't have never really known what it feels like to have a real stable home. Because when you're in foster care or CPS, you bounce from home to home. One home don't you?
Yes, you do.
And every home
And
is
some
different.
people, I don't mean to cut you off, but I listened to this one story where actually it was on the news. This family was taking, and it was some years back, but this family was taking in foster kids, and basically they was basically enslaving them in a sense.
Mm, mm, mm.
They was
Wow.
enslaving the foster kids.
See what I'm saying? Just so much evil we see, y'all. Like that one you sent me Shape where the lady put the babies in the oven. Like it's just crazy. She threw them off the damn bridge. Like it's
Oh
crazy, y'all. But
yeah.
hey Palmer and Shape, I love y'all. I'm gonna get off of here because they just got me unloaded. Let me go find somewhere to park down here at 10 o'clock in Texas. So I'm gonna get back in the chat, but y'all be good, ladies.
All
All
right,
right.
thank
All
you.
right.
But no, but what I'm saying is, why have you not passed more legislation for the CPS workers who are very ratchet and ghetto and unprofessional?
Yes.
A lot of times, they'll
Yes.
do the best they can to work with these babies. Trust me. Okay, I've met
Mhm.
a few of them. Okay, staying in apartments sometimes, and sometimes we stay in low income apartments. So I know what it's going to be around CPS kids. So why have those stipulations not been passed for people to have degrees in this? Then not just get a fill out an application and a mama knows somebody in the office to get the job. People that has a real heart for it, real knack for it. Who is watching the people that are placing these children anywhere?
Yep. And our family, my auntie, she adopted two boys who was my cousin, her brother's kids. And he actually had three. Now they out there in the streets and stuff like that. I think I told not this exact story about it. Said I got some messed up members in my family. So my auntie took the second and the third child in, but our family fought so hard to try to get the firstborn. But like what you were saying, CPS, they put them way off somewhere. And so some time had passed, some years has passed. So I think he was like 5 or 6 at the time. And so you kind of torn between, do you snatch him away from what he know, even though we've been fighting for him since he's been in this world, or do you let him like stay over there because now you got a hard decision to make. But CPS know the point is they knew that his family wanted him. His
Uh-huh.
aunties is stepping up. My auntie in Houston, she stepped up. My mom stepped up. My other auntie that stay in the Dallas area, she stepped up. And well, we didn't end up with him. Put it to you that way.
Oh
They
Lord,
adopted
really?
him out. They adopted him out. Now the lady, she said that she was gonna stay in contact with my auntie and stuff, but like getting my auntie, it's hard to get her on the phone just so he can communicate with his other brothers because the last two, like we went to hell when we knew my uncle and his girlfriend was pregnant with the second one. Like, no, you ain't gonna even have a chance to put him in the actually no, I take that back. He was in a foster home and when we got him, His head was all whopped because he like laid in one position. And when a baby is born, that's the time when you have to like mold and shape their head and not let them lay in one position so they won't be like wop headed or whatever. It took my auntie forever to get his head shaped right. And then the third one, my auntie left out the hospital with him.
But
So
so
CPS do be on some BS,
they
and this world just evil. This world is just evil. Shape like I could go on forever just talking about a whole bunch of different things, from way how the kids are treated, like in the foster care system, like they're kicked out at the age of 18, even though, and this may be an insurance thing. You can, like, if you have a child, your child can be on your insurance, and you can be responsible for your child up to the age of 24, I believe. But yeah, and still, you have the kids in the system who's kicked out, and there's so many horror stories about what's going on with these children and stuff like that. And you were, I just feel like there's a better way. Long story
yeah,
short, there's a better way.
I feel like much
And
time,
then
you know how long
all the
they sat
man,
there and deliberated on the law. They sat there for, they probably talked about the law since last year to sit down, and it's just not passed. Now, all that time you deliberated, so many of the things went into money that you could have put into play, helping with mothers that don't want it. Better come up with something that you're going to get. What's up, Buddha Black?
nah, I was saying like, damn, just like what the lady was saying like earlier, like they don't involve the man. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if it's a child or whatever, you know, it's it was a man involved in that whole situation. So it's like, it should be both of their decisions. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. It's like, oh, I don't know, man. But at the end of the day, as far as getting the abortion, it should be on that person. It should be on. It's on the decision of the two people situation. You feel what I'm saying? It's their decision. That's how I look at it. You feel what I'm saying? I don't really think that the government should be involved in anything like that because that's that's her body. You feel what I'm saying? So she could do whatever she want to do with it. You feel what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, that's her and her man situation. So they got the final say so on that. And that's how it should be, but that's what the government does. Like, that's what that's how it is. Like, that's what they do. They they um they 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 capitalize off of incompetence of people. You know what I mean? That's what the government does. They always do that. You know what I mean? That's how they keep their power. They run things based off fear, based off, what will happen, what can happen. You know what I mean? They run things based off fear. So that's what they do. They step in, they do stuff like that all the time. So, they're gonna come with laws like that. They're gonna come with stuff like that, man. That's just how they
This, this,
operate.
Yeah,
this is what I feel. This is what I feel, Palm and Buddha. I feel like the stipulation on abortion, it should have been, if you have an abortion, you got to legally go to psych evaluation after. That should have been a stipulation of law that would have made damn sense if you was going to touch abortion at all. You understand what I'm saying? Because something's going on also mentally later that they got to like the process of pain. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have strong minded lady to touch the abortion. There's so many different things in my mind they could have put on the side time.
Hey,
What do we
Shay,
have going on
it's like,
in this state? Like, what's going on? Who are these people? Who are these people?
yeah,
Who the
right.
hell are they
Nah,
for
that's how
real?
it is, man. I know, man. That's how it is. That's how
Man,
politics run. That's what they do. It's because you gotta understand something with politics, especially with mainstream politics. like when you dealing with politics, the government or whatever, right? When you dealing with the government of the state, like that's that's they too big to really zero in on the situation. You feel what I'm saying? So like I always tell people, real politics is in your community. It ain't nobody on MSNBC. It ain't Joe Biden. It ain't none of them. The real politics is, your district managers and your city council, all that in your area. You know what I mean? In your community, you gotta
Yeah.
really like. That's really how stuff like this get. We gotta vote, man, because that's really how stuff like this get passed. You know what I mean? You got to put people like that on a chopping block. It can't just be the state, the governor of the state. You know what I mean? That's mainstream politics, and they're gonna do stuff like this. You feel what I'm saying? But you got to put the little lower level politicians that's in your area, in your community. You got to put them on the chopping block, and this is what happens when we don't get into voting on that level. I'm not talking about running trying to vote on the next president. That ain't gonna do nothing. I'm talking about voting on the lower level politics. This is why these things. This is why these laws like this, because they got to set a platform for these laws to even pass. And the platform that's set, it starts on a lower level, which we don't pay attention to. You feel what I'm saying? This like what the lady was talking about, what happens in foster homes and this and stuff like that. Like, the same thing be going on in Miami in the foster homes and stuff. Like, it's a whole hustle dealing with these foster homes and people taking these kids and just getting these checks every month. You feel what I'm saying? And got a house full of these kids and they ain't doing nothing but got their heads in the phone all day. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Ain't really doing too much. So, I mean, like I don't been, I got a partner that be doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it started with the lower level politics. We don't pay attention to that. The lower level politics is gonna set the platform and set the stage for all this bullshit like this to happen. You feel what I'm saying? So it take work, man. You know what I mean? And we just be going in the wrong direction with it. We got the right intentions and stuff like that, but we go to the wrong direction with our intentions.
Let me say this so
I've
that
done it
for
too.
the uppity black people that gets online on Instagram and say we don't protest,
Say,
we don't
hey, say,
violence,
hold on,
all
say,
that,
I ain't mean,
we would not have
say,
change.
your mic tripping, man, your mic tripping.
Okay,
I
what
can't
about
really
now?
hear, I don't know if it's me or not. Yeah, that's
Can you hear
better.
me anymore? Can
Yeah,
you
I
hear
can
me
hear
now?
you, because it was chopping a little
Okay.
bit. Yeah, I can hear you.
I guess it's just streaming right now. I guess where I am, but well, I'm getting ready to get off in a minute. But I say this: they do all that talking, saying protests don't do nothing but look. They got the got the uppity black
Mm.
folks to get on their Instagram and to say protest is not the way, violence is not the way, but if brings about change. You understand what I'm saying? If we would open our
Right,
mouth and put our down, this government have us doing all kind of stuff. Yeah, but we only wear a certain color on a certain day if they
right,
chose to.
That's true.
yeah,
And what worries me about it is with these laws and rules and regulations and stuff like that is like at one point women's suicide rate was up because they was pregnant and they felt like there was nothing that they can do. And you're gonna push them right back into that area. And also it was a lady from Arkansas, just a side note, and I believe more women are gonna attempt to try to do this. This lady from the age of 13, she knew she didn't want any kids. And so she got on birth control. She did the thing in your arm and the little thing that they put up to the JJ and all of that stuff, but that was causing her problems. So she wanted to have her tubes tied. And would you believe
yeah,
this woman had the hardest time to get her tubes tied? And then the doctor ended up telling her that she either, and that at this time she's 24 when she's trying to do this. The doctor told her she have to have either her mother or her husband sign off on it. And this all to prevent her from getting pregnant because she do not want kids. So now you're gonna have women going through that, and then what's the rules and laws that they're gonna come up with that? Because that wasn't a state law, that was more on the medical side, and the doctor just didn't want to do it. And she said that the doctor even went to her mother when he finally agreed to go ahead on and do it since her mother signed off on it. He went to her mother and apologized to her because he finna perform this surgery on her, which can be reversed. But he finna perform this surgery on her so she won't have any kids. And he been trying to talk her out of it for years. And so you're gonna have women
That's
either
all
going,
personal. That sound like
huh?
something personal. That sound like
But
something like with that
you're gonna
doctor. You
have
feel what I'm
women.
saying?
Yeah, it's extremely personal. But you're gonna have women wanting to get their
That's just
tubes
different.
tied, and then you're gonna have people getting more and more upset when women don't want to have kids. They going to get their tubes tied. They doing this. They taking all these different precautions to keep from getting pregnant. Then you have the religious group getting in there where they just shouldn't have sex at all, and just going on and on and on. And
Man,
where do it
but
end
look,
at?
most women already got their tools tied. Like, once they, especially if they already got a couple of kids, they already,
Mhm.
like, what the culture is. You know what I'm saying? Most of these women already got their tools tied. They already got 3 or 4 kids, probably a little bit more, and they done with their whole life like that. They trying to live their best life,
Yep.
and they getting their tools tied. You feel what I'm saying? We've been doing that. You know what I mean? I don't like listen. I don't really see nothing wrong with the different options that's out here. Like at the end of the day, a woman could choose what she wants to do with her body. You feel what I'm
Yes.
saying? And that's the whole thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you about politics, about government. Government tries to take control of your body, especially when it comes to a woman. Like men, they already got us. They keep us separated. They keep man and woman separated. We ain't gonna get no specific color, but they keep us separated. You know what I mean? Through these laws, through different incentives that they have based on a man not being around. So they keep us separated like that.
Mhm.
So they already got us controlled in the box. They already got us put somewhere. So they try to control y'all. They try to control y'all, man. You know what I mean? And it's I don't know, you know what I mean? Like I say, it's about you gotta watch that the lower level politicians, man. Y'all gotta be looking at them in y'all neighborhood. You know what I mean? They
Yep.
passing laws, they passing hundreds of laws in each one of these states, in each one of these counties, in each one of these towns. They passing laws. They ain't even letting us know. They ain't even sending nothing in the mail or nothing. Let you have a bill or something. That's in the mail. That's coming through. You know what I'm saying? You don't even send
Yep.
me. Y'all don't let me know. Y'all changing laws. You ain't let me know nothing about that. It's like we gotta really get on point, man. You feel what I'm saying? We gotta really wake up. Um, and it's crazy, man. Texas is just one of those states, man. Texas, they always on some stuff like this. You know what I mean? Texas, I remember Texas trying to take out the history. They don't want to get into the different and I ain't trying to change the subject here. I'm just trying to highlight the way Texas be doing stuff with always getting so extreme with stuff. You know what I mean? That and it's kind of like the Texas way for them to, you know what I mean? That type of Texas culture, that cowboy culture where they do everything all extreme and all that old crazy shit. Remember when they were trying to take out the history or whatever, or take out the black history, or take out the racial part on white people's end of the history. They were trying to take that out. I don't know if they did it or not.
It's over there in
Um,
Tennessee. It's in Tennessee trying to take his books out. I will talk about that once I get my
okay,
information on it. From one white woman. Look, for one white woman that's doing it. And nothing against all white subscribers. Remember how they let one white lady take prayer out of school? And ever since then, it's been shooting left and right. School is right now going on in Texas about 2 3 days ago. Remember, and
right,
that in
right,
Indiana. Remember that? They still don't let prayer back in the school stuff. For one lady.
yeah, it's
Now,
always
it's one
some
lady
black and
now
white
saying she's
folks
going
in
to change the black curriculum in
Texas.
school.
Yeah, right. So Texas is just one of them states, man. I just think that's how they keep their politics relevant, in my opinion, by doing stuff like that. It's almost like clickbait. It's like shock value, and Cause politics, they just want to keep y'all. They just want to keep us engaged. They want to keep us involved. They don't want us looking for anything alternative outside of what they got going on. So they always gonna have some shit for us to be like, oh man, why y'all doing this? Why y'all? They gonna keep doing it. So you gotta watch the lower level politicians, man. These district managers and shit. Like you gotta be watching these people, seeing who they is, what's their background, and voting. You know what I mean? We gotta be voting on that end. You know what I'm saying? Just in my opinion, but a woman should be
We
able to
say
do what
this,
she want to do with her
we
body.
say this. We all have a voice. We all have a voice, and we don't use that voice. We're not going to hell and have okay.
Yep, we all have
Understand?
a voice,
Was
and
shut
like,
down last year, and the government was just shut it. They didn't know what the hell they was doing. Y'all remember that? They was supposed to open up Congress, shut shit down.
mhm,
Remember that shit? I was like, what
yep,
in the hell is going on? Y'all don't know what the hell y'all doing in there. Like, we out here struggling trying to put shit together. Y'all ain't got shit together now. These are our lawmakers that have to do our day-to-day lives. So we got to start opening our mouths to learn how to come together.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
and,
cause
and
they
promote
just regular
change.
people, man. Right? They just human, man. Like they just regular people like us. They going through the same stuff we going through. So we gotta stop exalting them and putting them on a pedestal. You feel what I'm saying? We gotta stop doing that because we see all these scandals and all that. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about, and y'all figure out, oh, he doing the same thing
mhm,
my man doing, or you know what I'm saying? You know how y'all, I look at her like, oh, she doing the same. You know what I mean? They stealing money, they doing this, doing that. You feel what I'm saying? Now, hey, the one thing about like, look, man, the thing about like, I done had situations where abortions was had. You feel what I'm saying? And but I was a young dude, and I wasn't really thinking like how I'm thinking now. I wasn't really thinking this far. You feel what I'm saying? I was just on some other type time, and kind of in the streets, and just on some other type time with it, and really wasn't, just was on some, I think y'all kind of understand where I'm coming from.
yeah,
So, and sometimes it be that way. Sometimes you gotta have them different type of options like that, because sometimes people just not ready for the responsibility. You feel what I'm saying? So,
mhm,
them options gotta be there, man. It is what it is. It's the world we live in. We can't just take away them type of options like that. I know it's very controversial, you know what I mean, because it's a life, and it's gonna be that way. It's not gonna be comfortable. It's gonna be controversial. People gonna have their opinions about it because it's a whole life. And the longer you take to make that decision, you know, the worse it could be. You feel what I'm saying? Because that life is developing while people trying to figure out, what they trying to figure out, whether they want to do that or not. So
yeah, and I
it
think
ain't
it
an
should be
easy
a
decision.
cutoff
You know
time,
what
so
I'm
you
saying?
shouldn't wait forever.
I
But six
mean, well,
weeks
you
is
know,
not
it
long
is.
I
enough.
just think it was. I think it's pure evil thinking. I mean, about 6 weeks.
You
That's
said you don't
pure.
like
That's
Because
what I.
you got a
Go ahead.
problem
because
with them saying them banning the abortion.
I have a problem with them banning abortion, even though
Right.
I'm not for abortion. And but I have like I told Shape, I'm on the fence with it. It depends on the situation. Now I do think there should be a cutoff line because I think the hospital, if your baby is either 22 or 24 weeks, one or the other, they
Mm,
legally do not have to save that child's life, even if you wanted to keep your baby. But the hospital do not have to perform life saving things for this baby. However,
right.
they're gonna say 6 weeks you can't have an abortion, but you give the hospital up to 24 weeks. Like really? So I think there should be a cutoff point wherever the
Right.
baby
Right.
can when it's fully developed in a sense. And I think it's 22 or 24 weeks. Then no, you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be going in there having no abortion. No, if you ain't realized by now if you want to keep or not keep your baby, then something need to be done with you because it's taking you too long to decide.
Look, you know what it be though? Sometimes it's like this, right? Because I don't been in these situations, right? And it's like, okay, she trying to figure out what I want to do, and then I might not even be around like that no more. You know what I'm saying? Or
Mhm.
I'm on some, my mind somewhere else. I'm on some, it ain't somewhere else like that. But I ain't. I'm already not agreeing with the situation, so I'm on some other shit right now, for lack of a better word. So
Yeah.
you know how women get. What y'all know. Sometimes he trying to see what he want to do. You feel what I'm saying? And then
Mhm.
sometimes, niggas be playing around. So sometimes the man be playing around. So sometimes, sometimes he want it. Then sometimes he don't want it. And I'm just being honest. You feel what I'm saying? So
Yes.
that's why sometimes those things it'll take a long time for that decision to be made. And then sometimes the child it'll be used as a game based on a relationship. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, she trying to keep him around, so she trying to, hold a child. I don't want to say hold it over his head, but it's
It's
kind
that's
of like
exactly
that.
what it is. Hold it over his head, because I don't agree with that either. Using the baby as a pawn. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
exactly what it is. Holding
so,
the baby over the man's head.
right, you know what I mean?
I
Especially
don't
when if
believe
he
in
ain't
child
around,
support. Since we talk about what I don't believe in, I don't believe no man should be paying child support. If he taking care of his responsibility just because he ain't
hey,
sleeping with you, that don't mean you put him on child support.
You know that ain't gonna
man,
happen,
let me
all
tell
right.
you,
They not supposed to abolish child support.
but let me tell you something. You got some
Daydream.
real queens out
You know
there.
that daydream.
You got some Listen, you got some real queens. That's why I respect the real queens that's like that. Now I'm not on no child support. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm saying I've been blessed in my life to have real queens that was in my life like that. That wasn't on that type of
Mhm.
time. That wasn't trying to use me. That was trying to actually put me up, upgrading me. You feel what I'm saying? I probably wouldn't be here right now without being.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, yeah. I had some good points on me tonight. Real good points on me tonight. Wow, man. I mean, that this no this law upsets me. It upsets me in more ways than one. Um,
Mhm.
and like I said, I hope that they abolish this thing as a suspension. It don't need to be in suspension. They need to get rid of the entire law
Yeah.
altogether. I don't think it's going to necessarily get rid of the ladies to stop having abortions. It's going to get more creative. And they can just look on Google and find things they can take to dislodge the baby from their womb. It's going to get more dangerous if they really don't want the pregnancy, really don't want the child. Like I said, the focus was really off, as I state and as our government was totally off what the focus really need to be on if you want to really bring about change. You feel me?
Yep.
Yes.
And I agree with what a lot of Buddha was saying, because it do start in our area. Because like what I'm thinking is the ones that's in politics, they're only listening to the ones that's in their circle. Yeah, just in their circle. So they're not hearing everyone. Then you go and pass this law, this bill or whatever, based on what your circle said. Now you got the protests going on because majority of the state don't agree with it. And so it should have been something that was talked about. Like with Mississippi, surprisingly, the state of Mississippi, which this is something small, but the state of Mississippi, that damn dumbass governor we got, they did actually allow Mississippi to take a vote on our new state flag. So we voted for that. And I think that's something that should happen with a lot of things. When you changing something that's going to affect so many people in your state, it should be talked about, discussed, everyone is heard, and possibly take a vote on it. But you can't just say this way or that way. It got to be somewhere in the middle also.
Tell our governor
But
that. Tell our governor that, baby.
our governor ain't worth a that man get on my nerves so bad. Well, y'all Abbott, right? It was Abbott.
I mean, our governor, he started
Mm-hmm.
to make my head scratch, baby, harder than usual. Like, for real though,
Yep.
y'all. I'm like, what has you been doing? Then he said they lifted the mask mandate, which I thought that was stupid. Also, a COVID is like Dallas and Houston, right?
Yep.
Listen to me.
Reeve doing the same thing.
Yeah, but I'm
And
gonna go get a body,
Mississippi.
y'all. I thank y'all so much. Thanks, Farmer May. Thank you, the Black.
Mhm.
Thank you, Food. Everybody in the chat. Let me get back in. I'm supposed to get loaded, y'all. Way down, moved out, damn Oklahoma. But I love y'all much. The like button, subscribe down below. Y'all be safe out there. Really, truly,
All
y'all be
right
safe.
then, Shay.